Hi, good afternoon, Nitya. Thank you so much for taking time out and being with us on the brand new show of Pramotivation. Nitya, for our audience, it grew up in South Delhi and then she shifted to Mumbai to pursue a career in media and entertainment industry. And she's had the chance to work with some of the top brands like MTV and Times of India. Her career spans for over 2 decades, and that's when she thought it's time to pack bags and do something on her own. And she launched her own business in the year 2021 May. She launched the brand Nei Native in 2021 May. We'll of course listen more about the brand, about her product from her moving forward. She's often referred as the liquid gold in the industry for the purity and the pure ghee that she's been delivering for past 18 months. The idea was idea came out in the lockdown when Nitya and her mother prepared Nei and passed it on to some of her friends and relatives. And Nitya realized the demand for her creation was pretty high. There was a lot of appreciation, which inspired her to take it a little more seriously and explore some business opportunity around this. Her story has been featured on many big platforms and articles, including Your Story, The Weekend Leader, Bombay Times, Local Samosa, and many, many more. So, without taking any further time, I'm going to get on to some questions which I'm sure would be inspiring many of us, including my own self. So, thank you. And my first question to you, ma'am, is what made you think of this business only, like, just ghee as a product? What made you choose that?
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this platform. And see, I'll tell you what, it was not really an idea. And most people go into a business with a very planned, 3 months, 6 month research, etc. It was not like that at all for me. In fact, it was just something that I stumbled upon. It was extremely sudden and very, very experimental. In fact, when I started in May 2021, I actually quit my job only in July 2021. So it was never meant to be that way. Having said that, the confidence to do this entire establishing the native with the ghee as the hero product was really because I realized that not everyone has homemade ghee anymore. Because we may have it, and some people who are privileged may have their mums or their grandmom's ghee at home even today, but not everyone does, and hence you are forced to sort of buy it from the market, which is also fine because you have a great many brands. But what we realized when we did a dipstick and we experimented with very, very small batches of ghee that we actually made at home and not even at the farm, was that the nostalgia that it evoked was instant. It was immediate. It was almost like everyone said, "This is the ghee that my mother made, my grandmother made," and this sort of transported them back into their childhood. And that emotion, that sentiment, that connect is what Pramod really gave me the impetus to actually start this full-fledged. And after that there was no looking back, because ghee is Indian. Ghee is used in every home, so there was no reason not to
Sure.
start this, because that feeling of nostalgia is what prompted us to begin this.
Amazing, amazing. So, we did a bit of research and we found out that the way you go about making the ghee takes almost 24 hours. If you could just, take us through this process and enlighten us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yes, it does take 24 hours. And that is how your A2 cultured or Pilona method of ghee, the most traditional way of making ghee, takes. Because what you do is you procure full cream A2 milk, and A2 is a type of protein. You procure that from the Indian breed of cows. So you procure the A2 milk, and then you boil it. Then you can you hear me properly?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're loud and clear.
You can, right? Right. So you procure the full cream A2 milk, you boil it, and then you let it cool down. After that, you have to, add a little bit of curd. So that's the curdling process, and you leave it for about 6-7 hours, and it becomes the curd. After the curd is formed, you actually churn the curd to get butter. Now that butter is then, and then the butter is actually boiled to get the ghee. It is boiled on slow flame. Now, while it sounds like, it can be done simply, the fact is that we actually do the final ghee making, the procuring of the butter and the ghee which is made from that butter. In the wee hours of the morning, it's actually at dawn about 4:30 in the morning, because that's the most peaceful, the most meditative of time. I would say it's something. That's the time when the quality of the butter and thereby the quality of the ghee is phenomenal. I mean, you cannot somehow get that same quality if you make it at 12 in the afternoon with all the humdrum of daily life, and that happens. So that those peaceful hours of dawn is very, very important. And yes, you have to use the right utensils, the right vessels, all of that. We actually make the final one in an uruli, which is a bronze uruli vessel, which you'll actually see in our website video.
So, of course, we'll try and understand more about the process and your website and other things. One of the things which I, suddenly struck my head is, in today's time, people are so health conscious, and somehow there is a taboo saying ghee good for health. What's your take on that? Sometimes you must be having customers the same question to you. So please.
So I'll tell you what. See, the great thing about what's happened in the last few years is this rediscovery, or I would say, there is a people are sort of rediscovering the benefits of A2 ghee, and why I keep stressing on A2 cultured cow ghee is because that is the traditional way of making it. I'm not talking about mass produced ghee. There is a quality difference, and that is why I keep saying A2 cultured cow ghee. Now, ghee is great promote for everyone in all life stages. It's great for babies. Your first annaprashan that you do, the first solid food that you give to a child is actually given with a little bit of rice, dal and ghee. It's the first solid food after mother's milk, right? So right from there, it's great for new mothers, it's great for pregnant ladies, it's good for senior citizens, it's good for teenagers, it's good for anybody in the family, you, me, everyone, unless someone has very specifically been told don't have ghee for maybe very, very rare things. It's actually good cholesterol. It is good cholesterol. It is, unless someone goes vegan and doesn't want to have ghee in their diet. Obviously, like any other superfood, you don't go overboard with ghee. You can't have too much of it. But yeah, taken in 1 or 2 teaspoonfuls in a day is very, very good for immunity building, the works. I mean, the benefits of ghee are numerous. So it's a good thing that we are actually rediscovering our own superfoods. I think it's time that we delved upon our own Indian superfoods and look at their benefits.
Absolutely, that's a great insight. And another thing which comes to my mind when we talk about the ghee which we see in the market, the big brands, I would not take the names, all the brands who are mass manufacturers, they sort of add preservatives. They have a different way in which the production happens. So if you could take us through your process, in the sense, since it's a homegrown brand, it is all process driven and more managed.
Sure.
How do you manage?
See, I'll tell you what. Yeah, no, I understand. See, I'll tell you what. See, India is a very large market. Okay, in any segment, you will find the lower end. You will find a mid segment. You'll find the highest segment. It's not always about the price. Somewhere I feel, as Indians, we are very used to a discount. I want the best product at the cheapest price. No, there is a price for the best product. There is a reason that any and every segment has a difference in quality, and the price is actually derived from that. So, and especially anything that you're consuming, you're ingesting into your body, you must pay more attention to it. And this is not to say that every brand has its place. I'm saying you will get ghee for 400 rupees, you will get ghee for 4000 rupees. Now, what is it is a price, quality, affordability equation. You have to weigh the pros and cons. I would actually tell people, please read the labels, please read your nutritional benefits, all of that. So I'm not going to say I'm not going to get into this thing of mass manufactured brands versus A2 cultured cow ghee, handmade. I'm not getting to that debate, because having said that, yes, handcrafted, artisanal, A2 cultured cow ghee, the benefits are innumerous. So, simply put, you do procure that kind of A2 certified cow milk from surrounding farmers in the Palghar area. And it's a beautiful process. It's actually our only and final product is the A2 ghee itself. So we are not using the milk for making something else, and then, by the way, okay, let's make a little bit of ghee. Our first and final product is the ghee itself.
More,
So the entire
more and more,
sorry.
process, I'm kind of getting intrigued, and I feel like being there when this process happens early morning and
Yeah.
an experience.
Oh, it's like I said, it really is a meditative process. It's, I think, the most peaceful. It's almost like singing, and for me, singing is a very important thing. It's music, yeah. It's as good as that. So, that's how.
Morning hours is very
Sorry.
Nitya.
You're absolutely.
The journey must have had its own ups and downs. So if you could tell us a couple of experiences which was kind of a critical turning point and overcame that, if at all you
Yeah.
have some.
Yeah, of course. I think I've only had challenges. I don't think I've had so many challenges in so many years of a professional life that I've had. So it was. I mean, it can be overwhelming, sometimes, because, and I think one of the first challenges was packaging, because you realize that making the ghee is something that you're an expert at. So making the ghee is not the problem. The problem is actually figuring out the bottle. It has to be glass, it should not leak, it should not it has to be sealed really well. I mean, my first 3-4 months was spent in, there was so much breakage, and I was shocked, because you don't, every time a jar break, your heart breaks, literally, because it's you don't want that happening. And then you realize, oh my god, it has to be packaged this way, it has to be sealed this way, then on top of it you have to put something else. So if I'm sending it outstation, I have to put it in eco-friendly brown paper wrap, then you have to put it in a. So I think something I discovered was, I really have newfound respect for the packaging industry. It's you, as a consumer, when you go to the market, you don't even think about it. You get a package at home, you just rip it apart and you open it, right? So now when I'm marketing and selling it, I realize how important that is, because you really have to wrap it like a mummy and present it to your end consumer. And the consumer unboxing experience has to be really, really good, because it's a premium product. You don't want the consumer thinking, oh, what is this shoddy packaging? Because the ghee may be great, but the packaging also has to be as good. So that was one of my first challenges and first lessons that I learned. And of course, I mean, every day I'm learning something new. Okay, marketing. I can't stress. While one side it's production, the other side marketing is huge. I mean, you may have the best product. If you don't know how to market it, then you may as well shut shop. I mean, you may be the best actor or the best singer. If you don't know how to, actually sell that, then you will be a bathroom singer forever.
I can't
So,
agree. I think we all need to, pick up. There was a very key lesson that Nitya just shared with us, that no matter how good your product is, if you failed as a marketer, you may not be able to scale that thing. Forget about scaling up. You may not be able to continue with your business.
yeah.
Talking about the scalability, what are your thoughts? Do you have some numbers that you have in your mind for 2023-24 financial year, and you have a long-term vision for your? You want to share something?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, see, it is about scaling up, but the challenge about scaling up is, when we started, we were just doing about 4 or 5 jars a day was a big deal, and now we're doing about 2,000 bottles a month. Uh, having said that, yes, I have to take it to the next level. So we are, while Ghee remains our hero product, we have diversified into other products, be it the raw honey, the filter coffee powder, which is actually quite niche because coffee is a very refined sort of a product. It's not everyone likes coffee, unlike the ghee. And then there are products like peanut butter. There is something called dry fruit and nut soaked honey that we've recently launched. So yes, we are in the superfood space. What I really want to look at is indigenous, native to India kind of a portfolio, and where he remains the hero, but there are just so many undiscovered superfoods that just haven't caught people's vision. So I think that's what we really want to do. And I am also looking at not just India, but even overseas markets, because there is a huge Indian diaspora and even non-Indians who look at ghee as a superfood now. So there is no reason why we shouldn't be, looking at marketing and sales abroad.
Sure. So from 4 to 5 boxes to about 2,000, what's the next number that you have in your mind?
No, I really, that is something that, it's in my head, and my head says 10,000, but, I don't know if I should, that's my target for this 23-24. I'm not sure, but I think we are on the right path. So even if I'm, in my head, it's always, you should have like a 5 to 10% here and there is okay. Any deviation more than that is always, so that's what I'm looking at.
With the conversation we've had so far, and with the focus and determination that we've found about you as a person, with little research that we've done, I'm sure 10,000 is just a number, and you'd be around that number very, very soon.
You know what I would say to that? Aapke muh mein ghee shakkar. So that's what I would say.
That was a good one. So there are a lot of people watching this and otherwise who wants to start something, but they always have this apprehension of what happens to my monthly income, how I'm going to survive. So if you have some tips, some suggestions, some on this to budding entrepreneurs.
Right. So it's I don't think it's a straight line. Like I started in my late 40s, okay, and I'm settled in a way, whether it's finances. So my company is self-funded. Now I'm saying younger people may want to start something. You have the advantage of youth. There are advantages and disadvantages in both sides, right? So I would say to each his or her own. It's fine the way you want to play it. But what I would say is, I think entrepreneurship, especially when it's FMCG, and I wouldn't want to talk about other fields because I'm not really an expert in that. But what I would really say is, be in it, have the patience and the perseverance, because uh, the downs are many. But when you reach that high, when you get that high, the reward, it's very rewarding. So my point is, there'll be 100 things that bog you down, and you feel, oh my God, it's just not working out. I'm saying, wait it out, be patient, and have the perseverance and the discipline to see it through. And also, one thing I've learned from personal experience is that, have the try and differentiate between your personal and professional, because I think, when I was working in a corporate, it was very fine, because you had a time, an office time. In a business, I suddenly realized, and you would know this, or so many entrepreneurs would know this, the time of professional and personal just gets blurred. With great difficulty, I've been able to sort of separate that, because it has to be done deliberately. In the first 6-8 months, I think I was only doing this. I think I neglected anything and everything personal. We have to make time for that, because otherwise, what are you working so hard for? So I think, yeah, patience, perseverance, make some time for yourself, and give it a shot. Yeah, I think, you know, if you have conviction and your product or your service is really, really good, there is nothing, because India is such a large market. I think there is space for anyone and everyone. It's a great market. So even if you have millions of products in that category, you always have space for more. Just make sure that you have that USP. You have to stand out in that crowd. And I think we've grown up like that, right? You have to stand out in the crowd. You also have to fit in. So it's a little a dichotomy.
Nitya, you made it look so simple that market is huge, and
I wish.
you just have to, that reminds me of one of my mentor when I was preparing for my MBA program, and I told him that there is a stiff competition to get through IIM Ahmedabad, and he said, why? And I said, there are only 270 seats, and he said, how many seats do you want? I said, one. And he said, one out of 270. Is that difficult? So it's all about how you perceive.
Amazing. Yeah, true.
Absolutely. So
True.
Nitya, I think it's been a very, very rewarding, inspiring, motivating story that we had a chance to experience in this short conversation. I thank you again for your time, and I wish you all the very best for 2023-24. May you get to the 10,000 number that you have aimed for, and that's it for now. Thank you so much. This is Pramod Malu signing off from this brand new show resuming in 2023, Pramotivation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks. Yeah.